What's going on YouTube? Ryan Alex back from Dopamon again. Today we need to talk about Team Switzerland's Olympic roster for this upcoming Winter Olympic Games in Beijing, happening in just a couple weeks. We only have a couple weeks left to get all these rosters out. They're slowly starting to come out now. We also got two others today. We have Slovakia on the channel from today, and Czechia and the United States have also been announced, and Denmark later. If you want to see
Yeah, what's coming
Denmark.
up?
Yeah, that one's coming up for us.
Of course, we made predictions ourselves for this roster, and some of them came true. So don't forget to check that one out. And if you're into this kind of stuff, you want to keep up, don't forget to hit like and subscribe.
Yeah, obviously we don't have NHLers at this tournament, but a lot of the Swiss team wasn't going to be NHLers. That'll mainly be like the big powerhouse teams, Canada, Switzerland, Sweden, U.S., teams like that. So I think we got like 6 or 7 people right from our
Mm-hmm.
predictions, considering like our top six on in our forwards are all NHL players. I can't go like
Mm-hmm.
guys like Timo Meyer who had a 5 goal game the other night, insane. Anywho,
It'd be nice to have them, but we were most correct about goaltenders.
yeah, only missed the one guy who was actually commented a couple times in the previous video that we did miss him. So thank you for that. But 3 goaltenders on. Oh, I covered the wrong thing. Reto, Berra, Leonardo Genoni, and Joren van Pottelberghe. We have Reto Berra in the front. Could be him or Genoni. I'm not really
Mhm.
sure which one as of yet. Let us know who you think. I think Genoni. I think it'll split a little bit. Start so both older goaltenders, Berra being 35 years old, has had some experience in the NHL, for Calgary, for Colorado, for Florida, for Anaheim. He's got some starts here and there. Currently has a 927 save percentage in the Swiss League. Leonardo Genoni was the one guy we did miss in our predictions. 30, I think we had Gilles Sen is in there, but he's obviously
We
in
did.
with New Jersey, so he can't participate. 34 years old, Genoni, also playing in the Swiss League for Zug, 925 save percentage. So either one of these guys will be, probably both of them. I wouldn't expect them to not just go with one goalie if I'd go with a hot hand, essentially. And when Pottelberghe, the younger guy, 24 years old, unsigned draft pick of the Detroit Red Wings initially, 2015.
Mm-hmm. And
Currently.
youngest on the roster, I believe.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a fight between Genoni and Berra. Because Berra was in the NHL when the last time the Olympics rolled around, he couldn't play for Switzerland either. So that's why Genoni played last time. But Berra has his time back in Sochi in 2014. He was Switzerland's #1 guy. So we'll see. And that brings us to our top D pair, and we have two guys that had fairly long NHL careers. On the left, Mirco Muller, and on the right, Yannick Weber. Yannick Weber's a guy that we had on our prediction. On the left, Mirco Muller, he was drafted 13, 18, I forget. 18th overall by San Jose Sharks in 2013. He didn't really like to be, a bottom pairing guy, wanted a bigger role. So 2 years ago, he said adios to the NHL. He's been playing in Europe ever since. He's doing all right. We like him on the top pair with Yannick Weber because Mueller's he's big, can really move the puck, move himself. And Yannick Weber, he's an offensive guy. He's a little bit smaller, and I feel like a big guy, a small guy would work out pretty well.
Yeah, both guys with NHL experience. Um, Weber with quite a lot of it, to be honest. I think
Yeah, more so than Mueller.
yeah, Mueller's still a relatively young kid. So we'll see how these guys play together. There are 11 returning players from this team, I noticed, from the 2018 Olympic team. So a lot of this team is the previous Olympics. So a lot of returning guys there. On our second pair, we got Santeri, Alato. Knew I was going to screw that name up. And
Alatalo?
Alat- Alatalo and Ramon Understander. Um, both these guys, obviously, I think Understander was the another returning guy, like I said. Um, Atalo wasn't part of that 2018 team, is now currently playing in Switzerland, like I said, for HC Lugano. Played for Zug for a long, long time. 29 points so far this season. 35 games for defenseman is pretty damn good. And Untersander, 30-year-old right shot defenseman, playing a lot of the Swiss play in Switzerland. Now SC Bern, 27 years old, or 27 points in 36 games. Good, I think a good pairing here for our second pairing.
Yeah, these two were the top pair at the Deutschland Cup in mid-November. It was a cup out of Germany. Germany won, I believe. I think Switzerland came either second or third to Slovakia. They were the top pair of these two, and I'm glad that when you're trying to build chemistry really quick, this is how you do it. You find guys who've played together before, and at international tournaments that can matter so much, and that's why we have them as our second pair together.
Yep.
Then on the third line, we have Christian Marti on the left, and on the right, Rafael Diaz. And Rafael Diaz, he's a guy that you wanted in our prediction. I don't remember if we put him in. I don't think we did.
I don't think we did.
He's
He just
no,
got cut for us in our initial
mhm.
prediction.
Of course, because there were NHL players allowed, and now there aren't. He gets his shot. He's a little bit smaller. He's a little bit older, but he is a well-rounded defenseman. He's got a little bit of NHL time himself. A few years ago, he played for Montreal, Vancouver, New York, Calgary, back into New York, where he finally uh, gave it quits in the NHL. And he's been the captain uh, of the Swiss team a lot in the past. I know that Team Switzerland likes to pass the baton around on captaincy, but he's been one before, and I feel like that he'll bring a lot of leadership to this team. And on the left, Christian Marti, he is big, and much like everybody on the left side, I feel like we've had they're pretty maybe like Mirco Muller, pretty big, uh, very mobile. He's got good reach. Not quite as good, but he had AHL time himself. He's played in North America. He's more of a defensive defenseman, and I feel like he brings a physicality to the team that doesn't exist. And sometimes there's no physicality at the Olympics, but sometimes there is, and it can help. So we'll see if that plays a factor at all. But he could bring it. So if there's going to be a physical factor, it'll be him.
Very good. And just our extra guys here on D, we got Romain, Loeffel, and Michael Fora. Two of the extra guys. I don't think either one is going to play a huge part in this tournament, to be completely honest. I think their top six is going to be set, but you never know. We could change up the lineups here a little bit. Yeah. Hasn't. Or sorry, HC Lugano 10 points so far in 18 games. Hasn't played all year, but playing very well. Michael Fora, 6'4", big, younger defenseman, 26 years old. Yeah, he's captain of his team in the NL at 24, so a little bit of leadership there.
Mhm.
14 points in 25 games for his team in Switzerland.
Feel like if anybody could slide in, it's going to be Michael Fora.
Yeah.
And our first line pairing is the first line that they had at that same Deutschland tournament in November of 2021. On the left, we have Andreas Ambuhl. Down the middle, Enzo Corvi. And on the right wing, Simon Moser. And Ambuhl and Corvi are line mates in the Swiss National League playing for HC Davos. And you talked earlier about returning players. This is Ambuhl's fifth appearance. I think only 12 have done so before in Olympic history. Only 12 other players have made 5 appearances because they come every 4 years. They're not very often.
His
And
first appearance
mhm,
in Torino, right here.
yeah, his first appearance was in 2006, and head coach Patrick Fisher was on that same team. So that just goes to show how good he is and how long his career's been. He himself, this is a crazy offensive line. I feel like Switzerland's going to bring it with the offense this year. He's always been a part of the Swiss internationally. He's captained a bunch of times. Uh, Down the middle, Enzo Corvi, his line mate in HC Davos. He's another guy who's a huge offensive force. But Simon Moser on the wing, he doesn't score as much, but he brings a huge like grittiness factor, and I feel like that they're gonna have to need that against some of the top tier teams in the Olympics, and it brings that kind of you want to compare into like a Zach Hyman kind of factor. I feel like he'll bring that to this line and really bring it together, and that's why that they were paired together at the Deutschland Cup, and I think that they're going to be pretty productive here in the Olympics.
Yeah, Andreas Ambul's stat line is funny to look at because it's HC Davos International, HC Davos International, HC Davos International forever. He's been a part of this team. He played 64 games actually in the AHL in 09-10. That's funny. But yeah, he's been part of this team forever and is a huge part of Team Switzerland. And we'll see him again. Second line, couple names that should stand out if you're hockey fans. We got Grigori Hoffman, Dennis Malgin, and Dennis Hollenstein. Grigori Hoffman has actually played in the NHL this year. And when I saw his name, I thought it had to have been a mistake because obviously NHL players can't go. But then I learned that I missed a little bit of news in the NHL that he had left the Columbus Blue Jackets and has been suspended by the team, so therefore is no longer playing the NHL, so therefore can be selected by this team. So they have an NHL player essentially on this team this year. Played in Columbus, did pretty well, and yet his 7 points in 24 games for Columbus is no slouch there on a not great Columbus Blue Jackets team, but obviously hasn't played back in the NL yet. But yeah, he's a name you should recognize. Dennis Malgin, if you're a Leaf fan like me, remember Dennis Malgin was the guy we traded Mason Marchment for to Florida. Mason Marchment ended up being pretty good over there as a bottom six guy. Dennis Malgin, 5'9", small but skilled. He never got a chance in Toronto, in my opinion, because of his skill level is more suited to a top six forward, but they needed him to be a bottom six guy. Didn't work. Only played 8 games for Toronto, but since going over to the NL has ripped it up. 42 points, 45 games last year, and 38 and 35 this year. So he'll be leaned on a lot for scoring. This line is essentially your NHL line. Dennis Hollenstein being the other guy. 32 years old, left-hand shot, but plays on the right wing. Speedy winger. Gonna play well, I think, with these two. And 25 points in 32 games. Yeah, on the same team as Dennis Malgin, so that's obviously a huge part of that as well. And yeah, the guys, you gotta have guys that know how to play together. And I think this line is honestly their top line, but it's 1A, 1B.
Mm-hmm. And I really like their third line. I'm going to argue a 1C here. You just said about chemistry. On their third line, we have Joel Vermin. Down the middle, Gaten Haas, and on the right wing, Sven Andrighetto. And Vermin and Andrighetto just played together in the Deutschland tournament I mentioned earlier about 2 months ago. They played pretty well together. They have that chemistry going, and they're both offensive guys. Joel Vermin himself, he was drafted in the 7th round by Tampa Bay in 2013. He's really more of a goal scorer. Sven Andrighetto, he's got his own NHL career himself. He's only 28 years old. He was drafted in 2013 by the Montreal Canadiens. He was a short career, early career, and has been playing in Europe ever since. And then down the middle, Gaten Haas. He most recently played with the Edmonton Oilers. I'm really surprised that he didn't get a chance to come back. I thought he played all right, but he said, you know what, I don't want this role. I don't like it here in Edmonton, and now he is captain of the Biel in the National League in Switzerland. And so we like him in the third line center here, though all three of these guys are incredibly gifted offensively. Uh, has more of a playmaker. You get Vermin, a goal scorer. Andrighetto is a mix of both, and I think that they're going to provide a lot of offense. And that I like what Switzerland's done here in their top 9.
Yeah, Switzerland is always a sneaky team that could end up winning 1 or 2 games. I think they were only 10th in 2018, so they didn't actually play very well in 2018. But historically, I'm always a little bit wary of Switzerland, just as a Team Canada fan. Fourth line, I don't think anyone's going to argue is 1D. But I still like, some aspects of it. We got Kylian Motet, Christoph Berchi, and Dario Simeon. Kylian Motet, 31 years old. I'll switch over to, whoops. Okay, we're all good. Um, like I said, 31 years old, 30 points this year in 33 games. All these guys have good offensive numbers, I find. Christoph Bershi, 27 years old, right shot. Initially drafted 6th round 2012 in Minnesota Wild. Played a little bit for Minnesota and Iowa, North America, so he does have some North American experience, as well as the Binghamton Devils, 23 points in 35 games over in Switzerland this year. And Dario Simeon, another 27-year-old. So this line has potential to me, but this is definitely their fourth line.
Mm-hmm.
16 points, 19 games this year.
And our last two, we have Fabrice Herzog and Sven Sentler. They're actually teammates in the HC Zug with Dario Samayan that we have on the fourth line. Their numbers aren't as great. They don't really play together as much, though. I feel like if they're if they've been used to the same structure, they might be able to fill into the bottom six kind of role if something's not really working on the team. If the chemistry is a huge factor. So I don't think that they're going to have a huge part on this roster, but I think either could definitely slip in for a few chances. But that does bring to a point overall that every single one of these players plays in the Swiss National League. They didn't take a single player from any other league.
Yeah. Just one note on Fabrice Herzog. He was a Leaf draft pick initially,
Oh.
and I remember him playing a few games for the Marlies back in like 2013. I believe he had a very good um, Q career in the juniors.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's a guy who can slide up and down the lineup pretty well.
And they
But yeah,
still have the rights to him.
yeah, I think they will forever, unless they trade the rights. Anywho, yeah, all National League players. So that's very interesting for this team. I don't know who else they could have brought from, say, the KHL, who is Swiss. Not sure there are any options. Do you know specifically if there is any?
No, that's something that we're gonna have to, get from you guys. Let us know if there are names that, were missed that, should have been just simply because that, they were playing in a different league. Or if every Swiss player is playing in, the National League right now.
All the good ones seem to be.
Yeah,
Just doing a
I
quick
think so.
search on League Prospects, there are 0 players of Switzerland descent or birth.
Switzerland or yeah, Swiss
Swiss
descent?
Switzerland. I said Switzerland descent. Is that wrong?
Oh, this is Switzerland. It's just Swiss descent, right?
Whatever. Anyway, there's no one in the KHL who is
Yeah, we're
Swiss.
good.
We're good. Yeah, let us know what you think. If we got anything wrong, let us know in the comments. If you know anything about these guys, let us know. What do you think they're going to do? How you think Team Switzerland is going to do overall? I don't think they will be doing very well personally. They are in a decent group. They're in with Czechia, the the Russian Olympic Committee. I forgot they can't be Russia, and Denmark. So they have probably a chance to beat Denmark and maybe Czechia.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a little bit of a shot there in their group, but yeah, we'll see. Swiss finished 10th in 2018 after missing a quarterfinals because of a loss to the Czech Republic. So maybe they'll get a little bit of revenge.
I like their forward group. I worry about D and goaltending. I don't think they're going to beat the Czechs. I think they're going to be third in their group.
I'll say third as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, leave a like on this video if you got this far. Subscribe to the channel. We got a lot of dope hockey content, a lot of Olympic stuff coming soon. And yeah, that's it for us.
And happy birthday, Dennis Malgin.
Hey, I didn't notice that.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Anywho, happy birthday, Dennis Morgan. Peace.